This is a breaking news alert.
More breaking news now. This Democrat senator just flipped on live TV and unveiled Hillary Clinton's treasonous secret. The Democrats are now all turning on Hillary Clinton. We'll show you the clip here in a moment. But first, Paris Swade from Liberty Writers gives us the background, reporting that, check this out, the West Virginia Senator Joe Manchin just tore into Hillary Clinton and the fact that the DNC funded the dossier on Donald Trump by Christopher Steele. He says that somebody must be held accountable. Watch now. The Democrats eat their own. And the best part is CNN is actually forced to report this. Take a look.
On the other side of the aisle, we now know that the Clinton campaign and the Democratic National Committee were partly responsible for paying for that dossier that was put together by a British intelligence officer, Christopher Steele, and paid for by the opposition research firm Fusion GPS. Now, Manu Raju reported that in interviews with your committee, top Democrats Debbie Wasserman Schultz and John Podesta from the Clinton campaign denied that they knew about that arrangement to pay for that research. We're also told that Tom Perez, the current DNC chair, and Hillary Clinton both say they were unaware. Do you buy that none of these people knew that?
Well, I would say that both sides are at fault here. Everyone around should know the game rules. The rules are you can't be involved with foreign entities.
And Christopher Steele would count as a foreign entity?
I don't think he's an American citizen.
He's not. That's what I'm asking.
Yeah,
so.
And that's in-kind service. What would that value be worth? What would you pay if you did pay for it? What would be the cost? No different than someone said, okay, I want to give you the maximum limit of $5,400 for your campaign for Senate.
There is a complaint with the Federal Election Commission filed by a group called the Campaign Legal Center saying that the DNC and the Clinton campaign violated campaign finance law by failing to disclose the purpose and recipient of payments for the dossier. Do you think that there was possibly a purposeful effort to try to obscure this?
Now, you mean as far as a cover-up?
Yeah, hiding, the DNC and the Clinton campaign
Not
hiding.
unless there's someone on a different rank. Usually a candidate that doesn't get to the candidate's level. So getting to President Trump's level or getting to Hillary Clinton's level, it usually doesn't get into that minutia. They don't get into that. They're worried about being a candidate. I can assure you, candidates got to be candidates. You start running your campaign, you're going to get beat. You got professionals around, let them do their job. So I'm not going to be taken up for either one of them. I'm saying it's likely that they did not know, either one of them. With that, people down below that should have known. Someone's in error. Someone could be held accountable.
Someone must be held accountable indeed. This means that the DNC and Hillary Clinton colluded to create the document that was then used to assign Special Counsel Mueller. Now, Steele, the former British intelligence agent, he relied on Russian sources, along with a Kremlin official, a senior Kremlin official, to create that document using disinformation. Now, it's very, very possible that Clinton cash went to Russian operatives that helped develop that dossier. That's according to the Daily Caller. So this is a major, major revelation, friends.
Indiana Senator Joe Donnelly, a Democrat running for re-election, got quite the welcome to one of his campaign events this week. Donnelly is running for re-election, as I said, in the traditionally red Hoosier state. So in an attempt to basically troll him, the National Republican Senatorial Committee did this. That's a mariachi-style band. I'm going to call it mariachi style. To greet him at his event in Anderson, Indiana, Monday, the NRSC has been calling Donnelly Mexico Joe because of reports that his family business has outsourced some labor to Mexico. Donnelly says that he has sold his company's stock. There you see a handful of protesters accompanying the music with signs like Made in Mexico and outsourced Donnelly out of D.C. The tactic did catch the attention of Democrats, the Indiana Democratic Party's media strategist telling the Hill newspaper that the band was a cheap publicity stunt only sent to distract from Donnelly's record. Weird tactic, I guess, kind of.
Well, I actually think it's very kind of typical these days. I mean, you have people dressed up as chickens showing up at people's events. You have fake newspapers being sent and all sorts of shtick that's done to try to get attention. So, but I think one thing it does highlight is that we've talked today, and there's been a lot of talk about a couple of the vulnerable Republicans running for re-election. But in fact, Democrats have a much bigger challenge ahead.
Sure.
Next year. A lot of many more Democrats, incumbent Democratic senators, up for re-election than Republicans, and some of them in some tough states. The only reason that Donnelly was elected in the first place was, in fact, because of the incumbent, Dick Lugar, was beat by a Tea Party candidate who turned out to be, not very electable in a general election, and that's how he ended up getting in. So I think that Democrats definitely have their hands full.